So I'm always thinking about freedom. I'm thinking about freeing myself and my clients and friends, and I'm thinking about freeing the world. How do we wake up and heal from the insanity of our world? All the conditioning of separation, of colonialism, of capitalism, of communism, of sexism, of racism, of all of the ways that we've been taught that we are separate, we're divided. It's survival of the fittest. It's a war out here. Um, Life is toil and hard. Stories like stories of time. Time doesn't exist. Stories of money. Money doesn't need to exist. All these stories that oppress us, they just oppress our natural inbuilt freedom and our natural inbuilt movement toward fulfillment. Everything in nature moves toward fulfillment. But we have all these stories about ourselves that then imply the need for management. And we need to like rewild ourselves. So I do my part in a grassroots kind of way, waking myself up, not managing myself, watching how natural law takes over so beautifully, doing that with my clients and friends. But we're still in this oppressive system, and the code, the programming of separation is constant. It's the story we're soaking in all the time. And so I'm constantly like, who can stop this wheel? It's basically like we're on this like wheel of empire. It's a machine, and it's anti-nature, and it's extractive, and it's moving against natural law. It's like swimming upstream constantly, and we've been doing it for ever. The people who really run that wheel, who have the lever that cranks it in this god awful way, the billionaires of the world, there's 2,781 of them, supposedly. Those are religious, political, and corporate billionaires. They're all sociopathic. Because in order to be so anti-nature, in order to be so disembodied, I mean, that's what it takes in order to keep this program running and working against what's true day in and day out for generations. You have to be disembodied. You have to basically be an NPC or an AI program where you're just running code. So we have to think of the billionaires that way. They're just running a code. They're demon possessed. They're non-conscious. They're not alive. They're not embodied beings. However, the people one tier down, so the aristocracy, the multimillionaire class, also have inherited wealth, also are really running a lot of code, but they have access to real people outside of the bubble of the extremely privileged classes. And those folks, some of them actually want to help. Some of them can see beyond the matrix programming, and they also can see the writing on the wall that the empire is dying, that it's happening quickly. And the multimillionaire class doesn't also have the access to what the billionaires do, where they can go into their bunker and pretend it's all not real. The multimillionaire class is like the right hand man, mostly white men, for the ones that actually hold the wheel. And if the multimillionaire class, if the aristocracy said, hey, we're not going to hold your hand, we're not going to let you keep pulling that wheel. In fact, take your hand off that wheel. In fact, we're demanding that you return your resources to the people, to those you've oppressed the most. I don't know the numbers, somebody can do them, but it's got to be something like 10,000 to 1, where you have 10,000 multimillionaires for every one billionaire. And if even just some of them banded together to demand that the billionaires give up their resources, they would be real heroes. You in the multimillionaire class, you see this, you could be actual heroes for the people, because you're not going to be a hero on the side of empire. You're not going to slowly dismantle it from the top. You have to cut off the head at the top. You actually have to, that's what's required. And then you can slowly build from the grassroots like the rest of us. But you're up at the top of the head. You're up at the head. And it's you all that can stop it from continuing to run this code. You can stop the hand at the wheel. That's the only way you're going to be a hero. And boy, would you ever be the people's hero. I suggest you band together and do it.